Hey guys, what's up? I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm attempting to make some bacon. Again, this is probably not going to work. I've got some deer backstrap that I've actually marinated just like I was going to cook it as a steak, and just a big thing of salt. So what I'm going to do this is table salt. I know it's probably the wrong kind of salt. There's no fat content in this, but what I'm hoping for is maybe like a Canadian bacon type consistency, because Canadian bacon comes from the backstrap of a pig. So I'm just going to put just a ton of salt on the bottom, just completely cover it. And then lay this down in there, and then completely cover this, and just leave it at room temperature all day today, and then I will knock the salt off and stick it in the fridge. Alright, so that's completely covered. Alright, will be now that I've picked it up and uncovered part of it. But yeah, it's about 12 right at lunch, so probably about 10 o'clock or so tonight I'll knock the salt off and get that drying out. Okay, so it's been right at 10 hours. This has just been left at room temperature for 10 hours, covered in salt. It's got a nice crust on it. There's no real aroma other than the marinade that it was in, and I'm just gonna rake off all this salt that I can, and it kind of feels like jerky that's halfway cooked. Like I feel like a lot of moisture got pulled out of this, and I've just got some twine here. I'm gonna tie it up and just hang it in the fridge and let it continue drying for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, and just kind of keep an eye on it. And I'll just keep the progress kind of, the word that I'm looking for. It's super late. I'm sorry. It's a holiday. So yeah, I just got it tied up on each end like that right there, and I'm going to hang it in the fridge and let it go, and keep you updated. Alright, so give you my thoughts on this. It's been I think it's been 12 days since I covered this in salt, so it's been hanging out in the fridge for 12 or 13 days, somewhere in there. This I just sliced like you saw and then fried that up. It tastes a lot like let's see if I can show you the inside. You really can't tell, but it tastes an awful lot like country ham or salt cured ham. And the texture is very similar too. Very, very salty, super salty. Here in the South, we'd throw that on a biscuit and call it a day. But I did notice when I was slicing into it, it kind of looked like dry aged beef. So what I did with this piece is I cut all the crust off, and this is just the center of the back strap. And I know I probably overcooked it because it's so thin, but I wanted to try and get a little bit of a crust on that. And hang on just a second. Alright, just needed to cleanse my palate just a little bit so I could tell you an honest opinion on what this tastes like. I haven't seasoned this at all. I'm hoping that it tastes like steak, but I know it's going to be super salty. But even, I don't know if you noticed while I was cooking it, I don't know how well it showed up, but it really blooms. I'm just picking that up with my hands, sorry. It really blooms once you start cooking it. Like when I sliced it, it almost looked like chocolate. It was super dark. But once I started cooking it from the inside out, it started turning like a pinky purple red. But here's this little piece of this. This is still super salty. Nowhere near as salty as that, obviously, because I've cut the outside out. And it's a lot more tender. It's not as tender as a dry aged beef would be. It's really not even as tender as just a normal steak would be. I like it. I think that would be better on a biscuit than that. That's really good. This just really reminds me of breakfast food. I've got high hopes for this process, and I'll probably try some cuts that I would typically just grind up in a hamburger off of a deer this winter and see what I can do. This is very breakfast, southern breakfast meat to me, is what this reminds me of. I'm pretty excited. I didn't think it was going to work. I thought it was going to be terrible. I think I can work with this, and I'm okay with it. Let me know what you think about this. If you've got any tips, like I said, I've never done this. I probably used the wrong stuff. I know I used the wrong meat because it's deer. But if you've ever done this, you know, you used to salt cure your pigs back in the day or whatever, let me know what you think about this video down in the comments. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see videos of me doing experiments with other cuts of deer on this too. Anyway, thanks for watching.